Hello. How are you today?
Hi, good morning. I just want to dance to our little intro every time.
I love that intro. You are so good at all of this. So I'm so
Oh,
grateful for you, Kristen. And I'm so glad we get to go live again this Wednesday, guys. Welcome, everybody, to Legacy Living. So today we're going to dive into one of my favorite topics, which is around mindset. Because before success ever shows up in your business or even your family, guys, it starts in your thoughts. And I know Kristen and I spend a lot of time talking offline, not just about mindset, but so much that happens in our business and in our life. So we wanted to take today and unpack it for you guys. And again, going back to mindset, it's everything in your business. It's the foundation of your life, again, your business, because we can have the perfect plan, but if your mindset isn't right, then you'll never actually end up following through. Because I remember early days of starting my business, I was reminded how important belief was. But I was so new to this business. And for those of you that are business owners outside the insurance space, I'm sure you were absolutely nervous, but excited at the same time that you were starting something new. But I also learned that I had to get around people who either walked the road before me, but also had a really strong belief. So I knew I had to get around people who believed in me before I did, because I know that was a big part of my business to be able to set my mindset in a place of positivity. So really, I always submit to my new agents coming on in my business to really look at your circle. Did the circle of people clap for you? Do they encourage you? Do they celebrate your wins? And most of all, are they positive and do they really want more for you?
and it's one of the reasons why I have you in my circle. um, I mean, yeah, we do talk about this all the time, and I know I've shared openly before. If you follow me on Facebook or social media, I've shared a lot about my own personal walk with just personal growth and development, and mindset really comes into as part of that growth process. For my own personal journey with depression in my early 20s and late teens, like all of that has really improved my mindset. And what I've learned, and what we're going to talk about a little bit today, is how that impacts not just our personal lives but our professional lives. So Giovanna's going to talk a little bit about, her personal mindset and a couple of key things that we want you guys to know. And then I'll touch on our professional, because our mindset really does trickle into everything.
Right. I posted about this, Kristen, yesterday. So I think that's kind
Yeah.
of what transpired us. Let's talk about mindset because we've been talking a bit about insurance, different products, but again, it always goes back to that. And I posted about your mindset and your thoughts, and that your mind can really be your greatest weapon or your worst enemy, because it can shape our reality. Because what you believe and what you think will end up becoming your world. We have to learn in mindset that we have to build a resilience because mindset can really keep us from breaking when things get hard. Because I know personally, if I don't have that right mindset and I'm going through something, it can break how I'm doing that particular day. So a good or bad mindset can really impact relationships, even in our personal life, and how you see yourself really affects how you treat other people. And a good mindset can also create a daily space and a joy within the process and not just the outcome.
It's so true. I've often had to check myself. Like, I know I've told you, like, this has been a hard season, a hard week. Like, there's always something, and I always have to stop and check myself and my mindset, because sometimes it's easy to like go and get in that negative space, and just really try to focus on. It's easy to focus on what we don't have or everything that's not in our control. So I try to do the opposite and focus on what we do have. We're all about gratitude, and all about focusing on the things that we have control over and let everything else be. And so we kind of take that into professional life too. And that's important to us as business owners or people that are leading others. Mindset really plays into not only how successful that you can be personally. We both know that, like, if our mindset is in the dumps, we're not going to have a great week. but it also impacts how we are able to like lead and serve others, and ultimately like encourage them to reach their potential, because we're both in the business of leading others to be their best selves and to live out the life that God has intended for them. And we cannot do that if we have a terrible mindset. So it affects not just the success that we have in our own business and our own career, but it also impacts the way that we can lead others. And I know that I don't speak for just myself. I know Giovanna will say the same, but you cannot be a leader of others, especially not a good leader of others, if your mindset is stinky.
Right. And the mindset you really bring, Kristen, to the business can also create your culture.
Yes.
Right. If you show up in faith and you have focus and gratitude, your team or your business, the people inside your business will mirror that energy. So it is about consistency and mindset, and that you keep showing up even when that maybe motivation fades.
And finding those people that you can lean on. I'm like, yesterday we talked, hey, I need to like a reality check here, like have, and that kind of plays into the tips and things that we have in our own daily lives. Like know who you can share your struggles with and who you allow to speak into you, because we talked yesterday, like, hey, I need a pick me up on a situation. Like, can you walk me through this? But you don't want to have someone who's poor in mindset walk you through something that's a struggle for you. So I know just, talking about what we do daily to work on our mindset, that's one of the things is have your people, have your circle, but know who you allow to speak into your life during those hard times.
Right. And really guarding what's going into your mind as well. Like, because what you consume will help you shape confidence in your life. We always are. I think the biggest thing we preach within our own company is that changed for me was personal development, making sure that I was, reading and listening to podcasts and listening to individuals, whether, their leadership in our own company or outside of our company, that was going to help me not only, gain some confidence, but also develop in my mindset.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what, our relationship is great because we are able to point out those things like, hey, I need to work on my vision, or hey, I need to work on my belief. So having those same people be able to kind of like help you pinpoint the areas that you need to grow in or build your belief in is really important. Right. And boundaries. I know Giovanna knows these are big for me. Boundaries, I'm really good at them. Know your boundaries in professional life and personal life. What are your like non-negotiables? And have very clear boundaries on who you let into your life, what things you participate in, what music you listen to, like even little things like that matter.
Right. And surrounding yourself with people who are winning. And what I mean by that is people, energy, excitement, it's contagious. I know, Kristen, that when I'm talking to someone, I'd rather be having a conversation with somebody who looks at the glass half full than the glass half empty. I want to be around people who are going to, again, celebrate even, my wins, help celebrate their wins, because that will help build belief and momentum.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know for us, we're both high achievers. We have big, grand visions for ourselves, but we also know like what boundaries we have in place, especially when it comes to family and time. Right. And so being able for us, both of us, to celebrate, like maybe it's not this massive goal that we had that we achieved, but being able to celebrate those small like daily wins, the small like, hey, we showed up today when we weren't feeling like it, like all of those things matter. And when you don't reach those, or you don't, hit the mark for the week, because this week I can say I'm not hitting the mark. Having someone that helps you like reset and gives you grace, and just someone that can like also pick you up when you need to be picked up too.
Right. Because one thing we've learned is bad moments don't have to ruin our whole day.
True.
Definitely a big part of my mindset in learning this business, that just because we have a bad day, that doesn't mean it's going to be a bad week or a bad year. We just have to get back up and reset. It's
so true. And as parents, something we could tell our kids all the time, like this doesn't have to ruin your day.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be like this forever. We can reset and bounce back.
Right.
So I know that we want to challenge you guys. We've talked a lot about mindset, and how important it is to us. But we're always thinking of ways like this week, what do I need to work on? Or what did I not do so well on this week? And looking at areas where you can improve that muscle, that rhythm in your life. Like, okay, maybe I'm not doing so well at guarding who I allow to speak into my life, or maybe I'm not doing so well at looking at the glass half full. So we'd love for you and challenge you to kind of think about what areas of your life, maybe it's personally or professionally, that you need to work on building a better mindset around, and then choosing one thing that you can implement like immediately, because these things that we talked about aren't crazy. Like, you can implement something today. So we would love for you guys to think on that.
Right. Because it's like mindset, Kristen, is like building a muscle, is what they say. You can start small and eventually get bigger in your mindset, and doing that with the gratitude and discipline and belief. Because what we've learned is what we focus on grows. And when your mindset grows, everything else is going to follow. So this week, we encourage you guys, check your mindset, check your goals, because really how you think is going to determine how you live.
So true. So true. All right, y'all. Hope you enjoyed our mindset chat today, and we look forward to seeing y'all next Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Talk to you soon.
See you later.